Welcome everybody. So let's first install JSON viewer from Google. So Chrome JSON viewer, this one. Since I already added this Chrome extension, as you can see, it is already, where is it? It's here, so I don't have to. But in your case, you should see add the extension. You have to see add here. And what's the importance? Well, for instance, when you have such kind of URL, which has, I will open it in a different tab. If I open, it shows me such kind of structured data. Have you seen? It's very structured. But if I disable this, if I don't have this, this will be just a string. It's hard to see in this way. So you need to have. Yep, as you can see, it's structured in total. As you can see, even it counts down. Have you seen? There is about about 248 or 250 actually. Yeah, this is the 249s and it starts counting from 0. Totally, we have 250 dictionaries or objects. Yep, did you manage to see it like this, guys? Did you see this?
At least I see now only one column with the same remarks.
Yes, maybe you have to install this Chrome.
Yeah, I'm using Chrome, but
no, Chrome just in viewer.
Really only with Chrome or
Yeah,
no other.
You have to use this extension. It's an additional extension that prettify the JSON.
Yeah. I cannot see anything much.
Now, for some reason, it doesn't.
Sorry. Asami, hello?
You have a noise. You have a noise. Please, can you remove the noise? Yes, and it's far. Yeah, what was the question?
Sorry. I had a phone call, but what we should see? I see only plus.
Oh yeah, of course. If you click this, you can see. You can open each of the dictionaries or the objects. For instance, this data has all the countries in the world, and from Afghanistan to Zimbabwe. If you go down, the last is actually Zimbabwe. So name Zimbabwe, top level domain. In this, you can see the domains and the different keys. For instance, the flag of Zimbabwe. If you open this, yep. So we call this API. So it's a structured data. When what does that mean? Structured data actually. Why? It was opened differently. Yeah, so it's a structured data. Guys, so did you manage to open it like this? Type 1 for me if you did. That's a very good communication for me. Good way of communication. Who managed to see that file? You just, okay, you just add this Chrome JSON viewer and then open this website. and it shows this.
No, yeah, it's okay, but question is why Chrome?
It could be opened also in other let's, what do I have? What is this? Firefox. Let's see with Firefox. But I'm in favor of for development purpose. No. Okay, because what's scheming. Why even taking this long? Yeah, even Firefox, even without adding any extension, Chrome, I mean, without extension, it gives you something like this. Actually, it's beautiful. Even Chrome is good. Anyway, I haven't been using, I haven't been using Firefox for so long. Maybe, yeah. So you can open each of the document, or maybe the object or the dictionary. I'm using different name. Yes, yeah, it's also beautiful using Firefox, Timo.
Okay, cool.
Great, but I hope you allow me to use my favorite browser. I will be back to
You mean Opera?
no, Chrome is my favorite. I prefer to write my JavaScript and everything. I feel good on. I'm a JavaScript developer, so I spend most of the time on the console. So I prefer this. Of course, you can do everything also on Mozilla Firefox. It's a matter of just preference. Yeah, let's go to VS Code. Great. And before that, what's the plan today? What are we going to learn? Last week, before we finish, we decided to cover, yes, regular expressions, file handling, class and object, and Python package. Before that, let's start Python package. Okay. So for that, we follow the 30 days of Python. And I think it should be Python package. And you just open it here. Then you may see what is pipe, Python package manager. That's what it means if you have seen somewhere. So first, I want you to install the pipe. What is this pipe? We've been, if you remember, first I want to get this Python. No, let's create a folder, WEEK-7, and we call this Python package.py. If you remember, we can just import math. Yeah. Why I managed to import math like this? Just all of a sudden, out of the box, importing is possible, right? But not all the time. These are standard modules. They are available when you install Python. Yeah? When you just install Python, you have this. So you don't have to separately install it. But there are some third-party modules that are developed by developers and are available for you to use. Pip.
Question.
Yes.
Are these all for free or
yes,
the commercial?
They are for free. So the repository, as you can see, they have here You can also create an account over here and you can create your own package. Yeah, I didn't create my own package so far, but I have already ready codes which I may also contribute here. So I think where was to see the number of available packages already. Yep, this is, have you seen about projects means, I think it's just the packages, but I don't think it's only 298,000 different releases of the projects, files, users, about almost 500,000 users, including me. If you register, you will be also considered as a user, okay? Yeah, great. So let us go to CMD, pip, install pip. So now we are installing pip, using pip. So what is pip? Pip will allow us to install other packages. It doesn't matter if I install it all over again, so I'm installing it again now, pip. Yes. I will wait for you until you do the same. How did you do? May I move on? Yeah, just show me some sign and then I move on. Can you type one if you manage to install this? This is the important step. That's okay. It's okay, but you can also do, you can, Timo, you can go all the way down and you copy the last command. So which one? Pip install this command. I will copy, and so Python is so smart and it's giving you a suggestion. So Timo, copy and paste this right away, and then it will be fine. It will be upgraded. How about the rest of you?
Question: how to install in in our Apple?
The same, I think.
Apple lab, the same.
Yeah.
Okay, I will try.
Just you open the terminal.
Yeah.
And then pip install pip. Yes.
Yeah. If I write pip install pip, it's showing syntax error.
Then that means maybe you don't have Python. Can you write Python, and does it open? Does it open the interactive shell? Okay, maybe for some of you, I had to pip install pip error. Let's just find a solution. Whenever you look for a solution, you should see recent. For instance, this one, it was asked in 2013, so it's old, right? so you don't go for that. What are you using, Khalida? Is it Windows?
Yes, it's window.
Maybe you don't have the correct path. Well, that would be one of the reason. When it's installed, maybe, or it could be how about if you try with this, Khalida, I may suggest.
Numpy install.
Because different versions have this.
It doesn't matter if it's Windows 10 or earlier.
Actually, it depends on the version of the Python it's installed on, not the operating system. Khalida, so what?
No, it's not working.
Okay, but I want you to write. Can you write CMD and or is it? Can you write Python on? Does it open?
Yes.
Okay. What version do you see? The version?
3.9.2.
What number?
3.9.2. Yeah, same version as you.
The same version. Okay. So this is how you tried it. How about if you try pipe 3 install pipe?
Pipes. Yeah.
Mm,
Can you try this pip version? Maybe if you have already also.
yeah, I'm trying. Yeah.
You have?
Yeah, I have.
Then you don't need to install, then we will continue. Great. So guys, by now everybody should have the what is this pip. So let's say install external library. We call it Numpy. Have you ever heard of Numpy, guys? This maybe I can just, this is the documentation, but I'll just, Numpy is the fundamental package for scientific computing in Python. It's a Python library that provides a multi-dimensional array object, various derived objects such as masked array, matrices, and assortment of routines for fast operations on arrays, including mathematical, logical, shape manipulations, sorting, selecting, input, output, discrete Fourier transform, basic linear algebra, basic statistical operations, random simulation, and much more. That means this NumPy actually can do almost anything related to numbers or mathematics. Yeah, matrices, and yeah, quite a lot of things. So anything related to numerical calculation, this, and it's really a very powerful package for data scientists and machine learning specialists. So it's good to know. So let's install the NumPy. So we can install first pip install NumPy. This is how we install. Yeah, you just give it for some time. So in my case, since I installed it a long time ago, I have it already. Great. Then let's open Python. Did you manage to install this and got some? And then maybe you can also see the version. Can we see the version like this? I'm not sure. It's impossible. Yeah, maybe I'm not sure if I can see the version. Yeah, it's not. How do we see? Checking pip package versions. Actually, on 30 days of Java Python, it's already we have there how to check. Yeah, so it's a bit different. Yeah, great, Timo. Then let's continue from here. Actually, what we can do first, we have to open the Python, and then not Python. Now I'm on the Python interactive shell. You can say print. Today we are learning Python package, third-party package, third-party package. Okay, great. So import NumPy as NP. Most of the time we import it as NP. You can import it like this, but most of the time we import NumPy as NP. Okay, good. Then again, let's make use of NumPy now. So this NumPy actually helps us to create arrays from lists. For instance, you have a list here, right? Let's create a list 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And to create NumPy array, actually NP array, then you just pass the list, and it gives you such kind of array. This is a list. It seems also a list. Just to check, maybe type of, maybe I think it's good to store it array, NumPy array, or maybe I can call it Numpy array, and NP dot array, and then a list, NP array. Now, if you want to see how it looks, this is how it looks, right? To check the type, NP. As you can see, it's a kind of n-dimensional array. It's a as you can see, just a one-dimensional array. If we are interested to make a multi-dimensional, actually, you can say at least two-dimensional too. And first, let's create a list with two dimension. We can create, for instance, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 4, 5, 6.
Question.
Yes.
Mr. Bene.
Yeah.
Can we do this in a Visual Studio, or should we use a command prompt?
Yes, we can. We will come to that.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, we will. We can do that, yes. Because you can't do any development on this. This, most of the time, the Python interactive shell is just to test, to try out. Okay, as you can see now, I created a array, a list of lists, and then we can change this to Numpy Array with 2 dimension. I can Numpy Dot Array and then list of 2 dimension. Now, if you see what I have, 2 dimension. Yeah, as you can see now, this is actually like a row. How many columns do we have? 2 columns. How many? 2 rows, and we have 3 columns. Yeah, great. Now you know how to. So let's do the same here. Import NumPy as NP. Yes. And as Timur said, let's instead I want to copy this and maybe num array, and then I call it Numpy Array. Print NP array, and let's run this. Yeah, as you can see, it's printed out. As you can see, there is no comma in between when you print them out. But if you print the list, there is a comma in between. So that's the difference between the NumPy array and just Python list. No, today it's not all about NumPy and pandas, and this is, we will learn NumPys and pandas in the data analysis course. But today we just focus on how we use, how to install different packages. Okay, let's do also a panda. Okay, panda. No, I think first I have to exit from here. So pip install pandas. There's. What is this pandas actually? It's a very powerful tool to fetch data. So now I can fetch data, for instance. Yeah, actually I can fetch this data, the data I showed you here. This, if you remember. First, we have to import pandas. Import pandas as PD. And then actually this panda give you like pd.read of course you can, if you just forget everything, dir, and then just panda pd. And then you will see all the available packages, because sometimes you forget. Now as now you can see, for instance, to read CSV, to read Excel file, to read a feather. I don't know, I've never used that. And to read HTML, to read JSON. Now I'm interested in the JSON because it's a JSON file. This, I want to read this country. Okay. Then actually I use pd.read. And also it comes here, and then you just select this one. What is the link? Countries, country, maybe I can just country, or maybe URL is just okay, URL. I can put it like this, URL, and then I store it, countries here. Let's see, what do we have here? Print countries. Have you seen, guys? Did you see something? Something printed out. First, let's
Beautiful, beautiful.
Now I think we're closing to what you were thinking, right? But not yet. That will be. So as you can see, we managed to print out. I can run this again. Yeah, it starts from 0, from Afghanistan to Zimbabwe. So but if you really want to print out, for instance, there is this head. Head means it just gives us only the first 5. Have you seen the first 5? Only the first 5. And if you want to loop through the first 5, for instance, let's loop through for country in this, and then print country, and then you may see a detailed view of that. Have you seen it? But the thing is, actually here, it gives us the reason now I see here. I just only see the key, the columns. But we can yeah, the problem of reading this in at the meantime, I will also run. I will show you another time how to install, but some of you might have also Anaconda, because I really like using Anaconda when I am using pandas. But it's also possible to do here. Anyway, if you are about to deploy something, most of the time you need VS Code instead of yes, Yarmo is coming. Yes, so as you can see now, it's just opened. This is my desktop, and then I go to here. I will show you in the meantime how to use this Jupyter Notebook. You create a file here. Pandas lesson, the name of the file. Then you write your code, any Python print. Everyone loves Jupyter Notebook. And then just a shift enter. 1 + 2, and everybody knows that it's 3, shift enter. 3 by 4, everybody knows, and that's 12. Yeah, so you can write Python on Jupyter Notebook or VS Code or on the command prompt or the interactive Python shell. But now I want to write this code here. How beautiful it would be, I will show you. Then most of the time we import our code at the top, import numpy as np, import pandas as pd. And then just to add additional cell, you just do this. And then I brought this. We call this data frame PD. This means this one dot read JSON, because this is the JSON. It's an API as I showed you. URL. What happened? URL. Okay, URL. Great. Now I want to create another cell here and df. Have you seen here? It gives you such kind of visual, so easy to read. So as you can see, from 0 to 249, that's from Afghanistan to Zimbabwe. And name, top level domain, it goes like this. And then if you don't want to see everything, just you can say head. Then now you see only the 5. Of course, you can just also say 3. It will be 3 or 30. You can get 30 of them, but most of the time we just a couple of 10 of the first entries. Yeah, great. Then if you are interested in the columns, do you know how many columns it has? We don't know. So how do we know? Actually, df dot columns. I don't know how I write it. Column. Yeah, it has how many columns? I don't know even. I can just links the columns. Yeah, as you can see, 24 columns. Okay, then let's see. Now, if we are interested in the population also, maybe population of this, then population df, then population. Yeah, this is the population. Then I think we can also draw some kind of graph. Yeah, maybe a line graph or something, or scattered plot, something like that, if we want. But I think, let me check if students are following me. Guys, are you following me, or am I just talking for myself?
At least I love it.
I had an issue with the importing in Visual Studio Code the Numpy. Even though I installed it, my Visual Studio Code did not find Numpy.
Yeah, NumPy could be sometimes not visible in the VS Code, and I strongly, guys, recommend you from now on to start using Anaconda. Okay, Anaconda is really so great. Most of the time, for instance, after the lesson also, I use Anaconda. So I want it, but if I want to deploy it somewhere, I use this one, okay, this version. Oh, no, it was not for me. I was about to share with you, okay? Anyway, do you see this? If I click it, it will be downloaded. But anyway, I want you to install Anaconda. And then maybe I have to just do a clear video how to use Anaconda too, just specifically for Anaconda install. After this, let's for the data analysis also, most of the time we will use this Anaconda. And you don't have to install also the packages, because most of the packages, the package we need, NumPy, Anaconda, all of those important packages are already included in Anaconda, so you don't have to install now and then packages. Okay, so let's get back here. So the populations are here.
Sorry, Asaben. Which packet was that you were recommending?
What package?
Anaconda package.
This one, as I'm using Windows. So since I'm using Windows, just the installer this 64-bit.
Sorry, this is Anaconda installers for Python.
Do you see mine? Because what?
Yeah. There's Python 3.8.
Yes.
So they are like together.
Yeah, this is just the title.
Sorry. Just a second. I have Anaconda installer. It's million of options. Pricing.
No.
Okay, now I found it. So this is free.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Great. So let's come back to the this pandas. Then this the country data. For instance, if we are interested to the languages, guys, last time I asked you to do some analysis with the language df, and then language. Yeah, have you seen here all the language? And then you can do anything you want. For instance, for language in this print language. And then as you can see, I managed to just print some kind of list of languages. And then as you can see, even still we have another list. So I have to say this is actually supposed to be language, not a language. So I have to do another inner loop for language, and language print lang. Oh yeah, look at, I asked you last time to find the total.
Excuse me, one more question.
Yes.
Where are we now?
We are on.
We are not in Visual Studio, or we are in a website.
Yeah,
we are in a website.
Yeah, let me show you once more. I can close this. Leave. Okay, so I can also close this. I have installed already Anaconda. I can also close my Anaconda. By now you should install your Anaconda, right?
Yeah.
Great. So Anaconda. You have to start it from here. You just give it some time. Just okay, whatever comes. Now it's open already here waiting for me. As you can see, it gives you different options, but Jupyter Notebook is the best one. Let's open the Jupyter Notebook. Yep. Do you see what this is? Just, I see my computer actually. Everything I see is just the folders on the desktop. Yeah. No, actually in my computer, not the desktop. So I go to the desktop. Which one is our folder? Yes, I go there. Now I want to again also work inside here. And then we can create file. How do we create a file? New file. What? Am I creating a folder or a text file or a Python script? So it should be a Python script. Python script. I can call it how to use Jupyter Notebook. Yes, then you can start writing print. I love Jupyter Notebook, don't you? Yeah, then Shift Enter, or you just go here, run, and then you are here. 1 + 9, 9, everybody knows this. Enter. 9 × 9, everybody knows this. Enter. But if you want to be a bit faster, maybe for instance, for I in range, you know this, right? By now, print I, just Shift Enter. Maybe let's just generate only even numbers. What happened? I don't see. So when something wrong happens, you can do this. Do you want to restart the current kernel? Yes, just restart. What's here? Wait, no way. It's not printing and it's not. Do you see any? Oh yeah, I was wrong, guys, because 0 and it should be, yeah, I was wrong. Great, so you can use this like this, but we have opened already file, right? We had this file and I was showing you how to use NumPy and pandas. Maybe I think it's a good idea to show you first NumPy, okay? And you can just import it like this, but like this, if you want to add just a cell next to, yeah, you can add more cells if you want. So NumPy like this, but I prefer as NP. Why we need NumPy? As we have agreed that it's really very powerful to create, to do mathematical operations. For instance, you may create a list and you will list 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. Then you may say NumPy array or array, Numpy dot array list. And this, yeah, as you can see, I have this, and then just call that or print it. If you print this, you may get something like this. It's the same, but the type is actually different. Type of array, as you can see, it's a NumPy dimensional array, n-dimensional array. Okay, how about if I'm interested to get this value of like 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10?
Sorry, Asabene.
Yes.
So now we are using a web application.
No, it's not a web application, but this Anaconda,
Yeah.
Anaconda give us an opportunity to run Python on a Jupyter notebook, and this Jupyter notebook run on this server. As you can see, the port 8889 of course, as you said, this is a web or a web browser, but still it's not somewhere else, but on our local machine. Yes.
But we cannot do this exercise in
Visual Studio.
we have to use web browser instead of Visual Basic or something.
You can do that, but it's here it's not a very elegant.
Okay, I understand.
We can do it here. It's possible, but you
No
have
no need.
Yeah, there's lots of beautiful. It's so easy to read the code and manipulate. So even let me show you. Let's import something. Import. What is this? Pi. I was importing matplotlib. Import matplotlib dot pyplot as PLT. This package is actually, we use it for to draw graphs. Okay, if I want to ask you, this is X, right? This is X. And the value of Y is actually, and Y is actually 2 times X plus 4. Does it familiar to you guys? This is the value of X and this is the value of Y. Is it familiar to you? Let's see the value of Y, guys. Print X. No, actually, no, sorry, because first I have to change this to an Numpy array. Numpy dot array. I have to change it like this. Now it's possible. And let's see print Y. Or maybe I can remove the 4 for the time being. Who can explain this just by looking at this? First, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just by multiplying this, we got another array that was multiplied by 2. Yep. If we want to make a graph out of this, actually PLT dot maybe plot xy. It's a linear equation. Maybe if you change this to minus, I think the direction will be changing. Yeah. Or maybe if we change this to a kind of parabolic. Oh yeah, this is a kind of parabolic equation. The reason why it doesn't have negative, maybe I can go to -3, -2, -1, 0. Now, as you can see, because let's give it equal value in both direction. Yes. So it just seems that, but instead of like writing everything in one line, so first let's do this one as in 2 times x. We found this one. Let me just add a new cell. But how about if x is -1? I mean, I'm -2 times, and you know that it's in another direction. I was expecting different. Let me do. Yeah, as you can see, it's in another direction. And let's do again, for instance, if we change this to a kind of parabolic, that means square. And then if we need the plotting, what is this? Yeah, so I have to create another cell. Why? Yes, this is a proper quadratic equation, and you can add even x squared plus 4x plus 4, but not x, like 4x plus 4. Yeah, so it's somehow this kind, but just to visualize it, it's better if we just have this. As you can see, the x-intercept is at kind of a 0, and it's upward parabola. It's all the time positive value. Yeah, so the range is y greater than or equal to 0. Am I changing the class to a kind of a mathematics class, guys? Am I making it boring? Who is surviving so far? Let's have a break maybe. Are you following? So before the break, let me show you Numpy Array. It's so easy. Numpy Dot Array 1. Let me show you very simple thing. 1, 2, 3 plus 2. What do you think the result of this? Well, everybody's silent. Actually, this will be added to every item. Let's see. 3, 4, 5. How about if it was times? This will multiply all the items. How about if it was division? 0.5, 1, 1.5. Yes, as I told you, it's not Python, I mean, an Numpy array or an Numpy class, but it's okay. Let's create a data. This data for my students, some of them are 90, some of 25, some are 30, and some are 25 again, and 19, 22, 45, and 50, and 65, and again 25, 30, actually 20 and 32. Yeah, this is the ages of my student. Okay, so let's see how many students do we have. As you can see, we have, but let's change that data to Numpy array. Yeah,
I'm 59.
okay, 59, sorry, 59. Okay, we should have one more student. 59, yes. Yeah, we are inclusive. We had already 65, Timo. Okay, so Numpy Dot Array data. So to calculate the mean, it's so easy. Okay, now our data is actually stored as in an Numpy array, and if you just write data, you see this. Okay, what is the mean? Data dot mean. Yeah, the mean is here. Data dot standard deviation. Here you have. And data dot variance. The variance is actually the square root of this. Let's check if that's the actually true. Yeah, as you can see, that values. So when most of the time when we talk about this, the descriptive statistics, we talk about mean, right? And median, mode, standard deviation, and variance. percentile. Those percentile could be the 50th percentile, the quartile, all those kind of things. I mean, median, mode, standard deviation, maybe range also, range. And these are actually, those are considered to be the central tendency and the variation, some kind of, yeah. So it's so easy to calculate descriptive statistics using, what is that? Using NumPy. Okay, great. Mode is not available here, so we have to import it from actually a different, that is from stat. Import SciPy from SciPy. Import SciPy. Yes, we can import SciPy and.
Hold on, Azabene. You
What?
promised us a break.
Yes, let's have a break. That's true. Thank you, Timo, for reminding me. Let's get back after 15 minutes. Yeah, see you guys. Resume recording. So guys, this was the NumPy. This is just an introductory. It is not a complete course about NumPy. Another package I want to show you is actually the, for instance, if you've been here already, web browser is not something you install, it's already there. Import web browser. And I have created some lists, as you can see here. I will show you. Are you familiar with this list? For instance, if you see here, it's the Python official website, and this is my LinkedIn, and this could be my Twitter, and I should have changed this. I thought this is the GitHub. So let's, as you can see now, we have how many links do we have? 4 links. And then you can use this, the web browser, to automatically open each of them. For instance, web browser dot open in a new tab. If I want to open this, I can just open it. GitHub URL for the time being. And then you just pass the URL, GitHub URL. And if I run this, actually it open it. Have you seen? Maybe I think I add something wrong. What is in here? Why it didn't? Oh yeah, have you seen? There's a space in here. It's because of that. Yeah, now it opens. Okay, but how about if we are interested to open all of them, this one after another? You can use a for loop, for URL in URL list, and then you just call this package or module, and if you run, it will open. I think we have something. No, sorry, I should change this to URL. Yeah, and now we can run it. Have you seen? This was opened. It's opened. It's about to be opened. Yeah. So as you can see.
Question.
Yes.
What about the passwords for the websites you are opening?
The password, if it has?
Yeah.
Oh, if it has a password, it doesn't, it just bounces or it may break. So it just opens only Of course, if it has also a password, if you should give the password. There's also a way to handle the password. For instance, you may want to log into some system and you want to scrape some data. If it requires a password, definitely you should provide the password. If you don't have the password, you will not have access. Yes. So no, it doesn't break the password and it doesn't.
But do we later on feel that request if I want to go some website that requires my username and password, so can I
Yes.
automatically?
Yes. Yeah, it's
okay,
possible.
great,
Yes.
great.
It's
Great.
possible. Most probably you should use Chromium. I myself implement something like that, so it's possible, but you should provide the password. So how does it work? Actually, first, one of the script, once you should reach to the login page, and then from the login page, your script has to supply the password, and then you have to get in. And after that, I don't know what kind of operation is going to happen. You know what you're going to do, yeah? Okay, let's see what we have. So to see the packages you installed actually on your system or on your code pip list, have you seen I have quite lots of packages which are installed. Some are, yeah, as you can see, some of them are not manually. I installed them. Okay. I don't really remember. Spassy, of course, I installed this. SciPy, I installed this. Some of them are, like as you can see, NLTK. It's also, it's a natural language processing package that I installed myself. Some of them are, I think, packages that are installed with another package. But these are the list, as you can see, package and their versions. Yeah, so to see that, pip list.
I'm sorry, I have a question. You know, when I type pip list, it says it is not recognized on my CMD prompt.
Yeah, then maybe is pip working for you? Did you install pip?
No, I have to install it again.
Yeah, okay, so there is some noise, background noise. Okay. Yeah, that means you don't have this. And another pip freeze is very good, and maybe I can also show about pip show about pandas. This pip show pandas or specific pip show numpy, for instance, just say something about, okay, the name is numpy, the version 1.2, summary numpy is the fundamental package for array computing with Python. So descriptions about the numpy. Yarmo is coming, or okay, great. So this pip show.
So Benny,
Yes.
So you just before you changed, you were in a command prompt.
Yes.
But can it be done in Visual?
This is you have to check it from the operator. Of course, you can. Here is also the prompt. It's the same, the prompt we get.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just confusing if it's available in here.
Okay, that's a very good question. Let me think. For instance, yeah. Pip show. I'm not sure if we managed to write this kind of comments on the. These are just prompt comments.
Okay.
So this is something you should check on the that's something you write on the repeat show pandas, and then I know what kind of pandas I have here. Of course, you can also check the version, for instance. To check the version here, let's check print numpy dot version, I think. Yeah, this we can check the version. Oh, again, I have to, this is not a very good code, so we have to stop this line of the code. It's opening everything now and then, and it's not very good. Let's just close that. Now we can, as you can see, I got the version of the NumPy. So you can write NumPy version, something like this, in print pandas version panda. I think it's PD already. Version. I think it's possible either for this or this. If we go and we can check the version of, as you can see, pandas version 1. We can check the versions, but I'm not sure if we get a detailed information about it. It might be possible, but I never have never done that.
Okay. Is there any quick fix? I mean, I just can't import Numpy or not pandas in the Visual Studio Code.
Okay, so when you, for instance, I have this, as you can see. When you wrote here, the NumPy has NP, what does it say for you?
It just says module not found error, no module named Numpy.
Okay, maybe. Do you have this?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Is it?
Yeah, it's Python. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes it happens like that on Visual Studio Code. It's
Also start to restart Visual Studio Code, but that didn't help either.
Okay, yeah, that's a bottleneck. Even sometimes it happens to me. I don't know how I solve that. I think what I would recommend you for the time being, go for Jupyter Notebook.
Yeah.
And if you continue with the next course, I'm sure. And if I remember how I solve it, I will let you know here.
Okay.
But now, yeah, it happened to me. I had the same problem. But this kind of writing also on the Visual Studio Code is very important. Why? Sometimes if we are going to deploy our application on the cloud, on a web server somewhere, it's really, for instance, if you have seen, guys, I will show you, there's something deployed here.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Bene, if we found some problems, where should we report them that maybe they can be fixed?
What problem?
Whatever.
Related to what?
Whatever.
But
Python or Visual Code. Visual Code, basically.
I think Visual Studio Code has a very good community. Visual Studio Code community is good, very huge already, and most of the time on GitHub. Visual Studio and VS Code is a bit different, by the way. VS Code, let's community.
Yeah. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, so this is a very huge community. All the extensions you saw, all the extension we got here, it was developed by just contributors. So it's a very huge community. Everything nowadays, it's also open source. I think it's I'm not sure, but yeah, it's by the way, it was developed by Microsoft.
Yeah, but believe me, I used to work for Nokia, and there was 5,000 trillion lines for code, and always somebody who found a mistake in
Of
somewhere.
course. I agree with that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I opened something, guys, from this one. This is for 30 days of Python. It's a full stack application developed for students to practice. And for instance, this cleans some text. If you just drop some text over there, let me just give it some text. Where can I get text? For instance, if I just give this for the system, and it should clean. Oh, that's this. I think that's not what I was trying to text analyzer. I was trying to. So it just parsed the text and changed to Word, as you can see. On 30 days of Python, there's something you can do, something like this. And then a student actually can join. It's a full stack kind of application. Let's just do something. Skill, HTML, CSS, JS, and React. And the bio, I am a Python teacher whatsoever. As you can see, Asaben is added, and it's possible to edit it actually here. And Finland actually Helsinki, Finland whatever, just to show you. Okay, now this application has Python, and if you have a plan to deploy it somewhere, this one is deployed on Heroku, on a free service, on a web service. As you can see, it says Heroku. You need VS Code at least. It's easy for me. By the way, if you want to develop this, it's already on 30 days of Python. So you need to work or write your code on VS Code. But if it's just to practice or to see what's happening on your local machine, you can write on here. Of course, this can also be saved as you can see, you can save it as .py file. After you work on, you can change it to as .py file. Great. Yeah, let's move on. Pip freeze actually is very important when you are working with virtual environment. It just gives you the available for, let me show you, it's somehow the same as list. Pip freeze, for instance, it just gives me all the available packages. And then if I'm about to deploy, I have to also copy this as a requirement for my application. And then I have to add this to the project, usually requirements.txt, and I have to copy and put this file. Yeah, what am I talking about? I will show you this. Okay, let me show you something. I think this is good because freeze, no, git freeze. No, sorry, pip freeze, and then this requirements.txt. Yeah, what it does actually, first, it just take all the list we saw here, and then copy those values in this file. Now we should have the requirements. Have you seen here now? Yes. Yeah, all the packages are here. For some reason, this is a bit different. I don't know why I have never seen such kind of. Oh yeah, actually this is related to natural language processing, which I installed with NLTK. But for it seems for now, if you don't have, so if you deploy, so this list of packages has to be also uploaded with your project. Yeah, great. So that's the power of pip freeze. Oh, this pull request is, I think nowadays we don't have to install it using pip. It's already available. Let's see what we can do with the requests. Import requests. Oh, okay, I want to ask, because Timo has been working as IT expert for ages. What do you think the purpose of this this requests package?
Are you asking from me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The require is also.
Yes. Yeah. So any network communication. Let me explain to you here. So any communication follows HTTP protocol. At the beginning, if you remember, there is a request, and there is, for every request, there is a response. So whenever we are using requests, actually we are requesting some server to get some data, so to fetch. So it allows us to fetch some data. Okay, now I will use the requests again to fetch this. So we have different options to fetch data, as you can see. Now let's see, maybe I think we may get lost, so I just follow this to how to fetch. Okay, as you can see, requests.get. Okay, great. It has this requests.get, the get method, then the URL, the resource, I passed it, and then I have to store it as in response here. So the response should have a status, print response dot, I think it's a status code. This is status code. If it's okay, that means we managed to fetch it. Okay, actually it's not okay, but 200. I'm just 200 means okay. Yeah, this status code, there are 401 different. Okay, I will show you doggy status for HTTP. There's a funny yes. So I will show you different status code. Yeah, this means, as you can see, if you see 100, that means continue. If you see 200, it's okay. So as you can see, this dog looks happy. It's a kind of okayish. And 201 created when we create something 200. So there are different status codes, so you don't have to remember. Okay, let me just have a question. This is 404. What is 404, guys? You haven't seen 404? Not found. This dog is saying, I'm not here, I'm not around. He's just leave me alone. Have you? Yeah, this dog is not happy. I don't see at least a happy face in here. Yeah. So not found. So this, so whenever you interact with HTTP protocol, you get some response. For instance, you can associate this because you have seen it many times, not found, and this okay. Now what we got is actually is okay. So it is fast we fetched it. This one is a JSON, so we can actually print that response.json like this. And then if you see, oh yeah, now we managed to capture that data, guys. Do you see it? Yeah, so it's very short code. First, you just request get, and then you don't have to. This is just to check. Then response.json. If you don't want to print it, then I think it's good to store it. Countries. And then now, if you remember, I like import or from pprint, import pprint, because that printing makes my object looks good. Countries and pprint. Let's see now using the printing. Yeah. That's quite a lot of data, guys. Yeah, now it's so clean, right? Yes, where am I? Yeah, it's tough for my Visual Studio Code even to, I can't even go much. Which country is it? Let me see. Name Tokalu. That's okay. Tonga. Yeah, so anyway, it's hard to print all the countries, but we can slice some of them, okay? And we will have a chance to see them properly. How do I slice them? The first 5, for instance, yeah? Even the first 5 is really, because just let's go the first 2. Yeah, the first, as you can see, Afghanistan, and the next should be maybe Albania, right? The next country.
Question.
Poland, yes, yeah, coming. Yeah, Afghanistan and Poland. Okay, yes. What's the question?
HTTPS or HTTP? Is there
It doesn't.
Issues?
It doesn't matter. It fetches if it's HTTPS or HTTP. It fetches. It doesn't matter. It fetches all.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, and for instance, this HTTPS, it doesn't really matter. It fetches all. Now your data is ready. It's up to you to process Yes, it's a bit far.
A question. When we access data from URL, in this case, it doesn't require us any API key, right?
Yeah.
Is that different things? You know, when we sometimes when we access the web sources, it requires us to use API keys.
Yeah. So in that case, you have to also provide the configure these are public APIs, publicly available APIs. So you don't have to, you just fetch them. So the difference between the publicly available and APIs that need API key, actually, because they want to limit you, okay? Second, maybe they have to make a profit, so they have to make it private. So it has a bit different. For instance, I can give it here. API key. For this to work, you should have the API key. So you have to provide that API key in some sort, either like this or in some configuration. Usually, the API itself has a documentation how to use. So different platform, for instance, I can access Twitter. Twitter API has its own documentation for JavaScript, for Python, and everything. So all APIs, no, it's hard to say all, but most good APIs provide how to use their API. So no doubt about, no worry about that. Okay, let's move on. I think what do I have here? So we saw now how to use
Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I interrupt again.
It's okay.
But the last thing last thing you showed us 10 seconds ago.
Yeah. Do you want?
What is this like? If I go to some websites,
Yeah,
that requires authentication, is it related on that?
no, what he said is different. The API key and authentication is different. API key is just a key that should go with some URL to access the data. Authentication is, it's all about actually login to some system, right?
Yeah, like username, password.
Yes. So as I told you in the previous, that is most of the time can be implemented with web scraping, usually with Chromium. First, you have to go to the website page, the login page of the website, and then right away you have to provide the username and the password, and then you get in. So instead of you do it manually, your Python script actually will do it for you. So it's possible. And I will show you not logging into because it's a bit too much. We have to find some website, and but we will do scraping next week, web scraping. And we will see somehow. Now let's move further. How about if it's a text like this? Now we just fetch a JSON, but how does it look like fetching just a text? I also provided here, as you can see. In this case, you just say response.text. Yeah, so I have here URL, another URL, and then actually what I can do, requests.get and the URL, and then even you can chain it text here. You don't have to, and then I can store the text here. Yeah, I'm not sure if the text is just gives all the text. Yeah, it's not even a method, it's just an attribute. So text should give us, I have to really comment this out. And then what do we expect from here? What we expect is actually this data. Yes. Let's see if we are getting that. Yeah, as you can see, we have that data now. Great. Now at least you know how to fetch data using URL. Now we fetch text, and also we fetch the country's API, and you got it as in, it was here as in a JSON, but after you fetch it, it became an object or a dictionary, or it's a list. Okay, let's see. I think we're running out of time. Creating a package. Yeah, you can also, as I told you, create your own package. Is there any question? Yeah, so to create a package, I have just demonstrated a very simple add numbers kind of, as you can see, power remainder, and then you just follow this if you are interested for that, because everything is clear here. Then further information about packages. There are different packages related to database, related to web development like Django, Flask, and also the beautiful soup we are going to use next week for web scraping, for XML processing. It's somehow related to beautiful soup. And graphical user interface. At the first time, we said that it's possible to develop a desktop application using Python. So you have to have some framework like Qt or TK-Inter. Those are one of another most powerful importance of Python is actually for data analysis, data science, and machine learning. Yeah, NumPy, Pandas, SciPy, Scikit-learn, and TensorFlow, Keras. These are usually related to deep learning. This is for machine learning models, different linear regression, classification, and different machine learning model. You use the Scikit-learn. SciPy also goes with this. These are more of exploratory data analysis. Yep. And there are some exercise here. Yeah, as you can see, read this URL and find the most frequent word from Romeo and Juliet. Yes, the text is here. Read the CATS API, and the CATS API is here. If you want to see different CATS, guys, you have the different CATS. Yeah. Yes, so the task is here actually to calculate the average weight of a cat in metric units. Read the countries API and find the 10 most large countries. We read it together, right? So your task is now to find the 10 most countries. And then another UCI, so University in America, is one of the most common place to get data sets for data science and machine learning. Read the content of the UCI. You have a mute. Okay, so UCI, as you can see, they store different data sets. If you go, if it's not a breaking, I think that it broke already at some point, so I can't do anything about it. Maybe they moved their website somewhere else. Yeah, that's the problem when you use external source. If it's broken. Anyway, these are enough already, so let's move on. Do you have any question? NumPys and Pandas, all others. Now I am just introducing different packages. We are not learning the package itself. NumPys and Pandas, we will learn very well in the next lesson, in the coming course. Okay, where are we? Shall we move on, or are you just bombarded by too much information? Silent. I don't care. Everybody's saying I don't care if you move on or not. Oh, okay. Well, what do you think, guys? Are you absorbing?
It's getting tougher and tougher. So
that's actually the very important part. Now you are not a kind of a beginner kind of. So now it's not anymore talking about Python. It's more all about using Python now. Okay, even if you guys, if you are really joining the next lesson, the data analysis, we don't talk about how Python works. Instead, we just use it, okay? Yeah? Yes, for instance, what do I mean like that? If I say 1 plus 2, everybody just tell me that it's 3. No one is going to explain, oh, it's we have one in the left and two in the right, and we have a plus operator, and it's going to be 3. No, we don't do that in that. So we just right away use Python. So just check the videos all over again, and all the materials we produced during this training. I think it's very important. It's long, but it has some substance. That's what I believe. I don't know what you think, but yeah, that is my assumption. I think this is enough. Let's move on to another section. It took us really long time. How about if we talk about file handling? Yeah, great. Shall we?
Yes.
Great. So lots of people were asking me, how do we handle file, JSON file, different file? Yes. There is different way of handling file. Using a pure Python, sometimes it's difficult, but using Panda, it's just so easy to handle. You have seen it already, how we fetch the countries using pandas. But the data format you get here is actually a data frame. What's data frame? What's data series? We don't talk about here, at least today. Maybe next week if we have time, or we will talk about this kind of data analysis tools in the data analysis training. So now file handling. File handling. So far we have seen different Python data types. So by now you should be very familiar with different data types. It will help you also to understand other programming languages. We usually store our data in a different file formats. Of course, that's very clear, right? You've been storing different files. So far, almost you store different file formats. We will also see different file formats. .text, yeah, for instance, you just doc or notepad. I just save this as in save as, and by default, as you can see, it is .txt, or you can just save it as XML or JSON or CSV. So different format, right? TXT, JSON, XML, CSV. By the way, text JSON means JavaScript, object notation, XML, extension markup language, comma separated value, tab separated value, Excel, Excel sheet. And in this section, we learn this. Not actually all, at least maybe a couple of. Yeah, first let's familiarize ourselves with text. Yeah, okay, great. How do we open? We use the open. If you remember at the first time we learned about built-in function. So we use, now let's just turn this off. We don't need anything to run. What you need is just, hey, open what? The door, the window, what are you going to open? Actually a file, sample.txt, and read it. We have two mode. We have a mode like this. So this is a mode. Is that to write or to read or write or read and write? So we have a mode, as you can see, mode. So the role of the different modes are R to read, A to append, W is just write. So it opens a file for writing, create the file if it does not exist, okay? X, and so you have to just read or follow this. And then we have to store it, as in any value. You can call it file or F or whatsoever. and then that we read. Let's do this step by step. First, I want to create here something, sample.txt. I love Python. Yeah, just that. Okay. Now let's go here and store it. F. I think if you don't write anything here, by default it's reading, okay? So now let's print just F. What do we get? Nothing. No, we should get something. What? No such a file or directory. Yeah, the reason is it is jumping. For some reason it jumps. Who was Arrow? Have you checked if you were in the right directory when you were running your numpys? No, so sometimes it jumps, you know.
You mean in the WEEK-7?
Yes, yeah. Now, as you can see, even it's again jumping. I'm not in week 7, so I have to go to week 7 because my I'm outside, as you can see. So cd week 7. Yeah, now I can run this. Yeah, as you can see, I got something like this. But this is, as you can see, it's a kind of object. The mode is reading, and I have to read. How about if we use the read? Then, yeah, I love Python. Great. So let's add more. Do you love Python? You must love Python. Now again, let's see what we have. Yeah, have you seen? I managed to print out everything. So we managed to read. If you pass actually some value here when you are reading, like maybe 10, you manage just, I can get 10 characters. Have you seen? Only the 10 characters from the text, including the space. Okay, but read is this better way to read also. You can read one line if you want. Read line, just one line only. As you can see, the first line. Or maybe just you can read all the lines, Have you seen? It gives you, this gave me actually a list of the lines, and then now you can iterate through each lines 4, and then you can actually store this also as lines, and then we don't have to. So first we had the file, we fetch it or we read it, and then we stored it as a list of lines. So hey, line from lines, and now let's print each line. Yeah, as you can see, I managed to print each line. Yeah, but if you have seen that print lines, it's actually printing with have you seen this, the break?
Space, yeah.
Yeah, the break, yeah. So it's better. There's, I think, a way to print without that. Let me see. We do this already. But something I didn't tell you, after we do all the operation, we should do F close. We have to close the operation. We opened, we do the reading or the writing, and then we have to close it at the end. That's a common practice. Okay, let me see. Split lines. Yeah, f.read split lines. This is good. Okay, I will make use of that. Instead of this, just the read lines, do this. Read first read and split it to lines. And then if you check here, yeah, there's no space now. It's clean. Yes, great. So using this, you may, so after this, you can read any text and process text, you know. Yeah. Okay, so opening a file. So what we have done so far is actually opening a file and reading a file. Yeah, for instance, I can fetch Twitter tweets from somewhere, and then I may convert it to a CSV or text or whatever format you need or the client need. Let's do other operations. Opening, and then now in file for writing and updating. Okay. This actually, I love append will append to the end of the file. If the file does not exist, it raise file not found error. So first we have to create the file and then we append. Yeah, we have the sample file already. So let's do this. Maybe I can just take this one away. So I will show you just this we've been reading here. Reading. Then I just comment this out. Now let's do writing and updating. Imagine we don't have anything, as you can see, nothing. Yeah. So F, you use the same open, and then if you just use, by the way, let's even destroy this. Destroy. Now you don't have sample. Now sample dot txt, and then you may say write, and then if you say f dot write, I love Python, don't you? And then at the end you should also close in here. Let's see. Yeah. Yes, it's created. But how about if I do another more operation? Let's do again. I love Python. I'm just kidding. I love JavaScript much better. More than JavaScript. Where is it? Okay. Okay, let's go and see. Yeah, have you seen replaced? Is it what you this?
Override, yeah.
Yes, so this is not something you want. You may need such kind of use cases, but not most of the time. So I love A. So this actually not, it doesn't do that. Let us see by running. Yeah, the file is created. And now let's do this change again and change Python is awesome too. And let's see. Have you seen it's appended? Nice, but we can structure it a bit. So how do we do that? For instance, you may have just some text, a list of texts, and I love everyone. I love Python too. I love teaching. Yes. Then, for instance, for a text and list of text, I want to write it every time, as you can see, and then I have to just pass the text in here. Yeah, but I think I have to add also a break every time. So I can add plus this a new line. Now let's do what? Let's run and see what we get. Yeah, the first is, as you can see, I love JavaScript. Python is awesome too. I love everyone because this didn't have the, after this, it will be structured. Everything you write, it will have a line. So now what we see, the A is actually, it creates and appends new data for you. And so, but if you are not fan of just doing the close and a very new, a very good way of using is with. So how does it go? Let's change this to a with. So you can say with and then as f. So everything will be like this, but you don't need the closing. Let's do this once more. Of course, this will be added again. Now you have more data. Great. Deleting a file. So now someone asked, there are hundreds of standard modules. For instance, this is operating system. So since deleting is something related to the operating system, we have to access where it is, just import operating system. The operating system allows you to know about this computer, okay? It may give you, for instance, who is the user. Let's see let's first comment out and let's see the available print their operating system. What do we get from this? Yes, that's what you can get. So these are the different attributes and methods related to the computer. For instance, let's see. For instance, path, to know the path of some file. System, most probably to the system is to create a directory, make directory, make dirs, to create multiple directory. I think we have also a couple of them here. So operates, as you can see, this, for instance, operating system path exists. If it exists, it's going to be true because this, it raises an error. So let me show you. Operating system path dot exists. Let me say asa.txt. Do we have this file? No, we don't have. This should give me a false value. As you can see, it's a false value, but we have sample, right? Sample.txt, this should give me a true value. So then I can say if the file exists, I go os remove and then the name of the file. But such kind of operations, you have to be sure that you won't really do that operation, okay? Now if I run this, this will not be here. Let's do that. Yeah, it has been removed, yeah? Great. Else, as you can see, even if it doesn't exist, it says the file does not exist. This is beautiful. So these are how do we make a directory? Maybe we can also make os make dir. You can just create a dir here, test folder. If you just run this, it will be created actually. Have you seen the folder? Yep. And then let's remove that os dot remove there, and I have to call it such. After this, it's all about reading documentation, guys, so it's not really okay. Let me just do this. Yeah, it has been removed. Great. This then after that, what do we have? File types. We have different file types. Then how do we read actually? Do you remember last time when we talked about a dictionary? This is the dictionary, and this is a JSON actually. A JSON is just, if you just put this under a quotation mark, it will be a JSON. So to change, maybe I have to show you. So we can import the Json module, import JSON. Hey, JSON. And now I will show this for you. But I won't ask you because you are too silent today. I don't know what's happening. What is this file? Is it a JSON, or is it a string, or is it a dictionary? What is this? Tell me, guys.
JSON.
Yeah, it's a JSON, but you can also maybe consider it as a string also, okay? Because it's a string, and when you get inside the string, it's a structured data in a form of key and values. So we call this a JSON. So a JSON is actually a string form of a dictionary. Great. Why we don't need this? I'm not a fan of Mozilla. So this JSON dot load and pass the person, then it will change to a dictionary loads. Okay, let's change it. Person to dictionary. Let's change to dictionary. So JSON loads, and then we just person JSON, and then I have to print the print person dict. What's wrong? Yeah. Oh, print. Actually, if you can also just pp if you want to. You can make it pp. Yes, as you can see now, this is a dictionary. Now let's see also changing dictionary to JSON. Why we need? Because for instance, if you are on Upwork, there are lots of jobs, freelancers, and they ask you to change the file to different formats, CSV to XML or to JSON, from JSON to CSV or TSV, different file format. Yeah, so you get a file and you might be required to change it to a different file format. It's good. JSON is one of the most common file formats, especially JSON and CSV. Now let's change dictionary to, this is the, you know this person, right? Okay, let me just show you this person. Oh no, this person, yes. And in JavaScript, we call it object, but in Python, it's such a funny name. It's a dictionary because it's a key value anyway, whatsoever. But you know, by now you should be familiar with this. And whenever you see this, you should feel good because it's a very good data structure. And after we change this, we will have a break. And then this JSON.dumps actually will change it to a JSON. Okay, JSON.dumps. And then you just pass the person. And then it just, let's see, maybe test JSON because we're thinking. Let's check the type. Print type of test JSON. Have you seen? It's a string. Of course, I told you that. JSON is a string. It doesn't have its own name, just it's a string. Great. Now let's, but whenever also, when you change it, you can pass this indentation. So if you put some indentation, let me show you the difference with and without indentation, test.json, you may see. Yeah, let me show you this. Have you seen this is your JSON and it's hard to read. But if you put some indentation, indent, maybe 4, most of the time 4, it could be 2 or 8 also. Yeah, but now, as you can see, the indentation makes our JSON very easy to read. Just to see, let's just make it 8, then it makes it so clear, right? Yes. Great, now let us have a break of 5 minutes because we're running out of time. I will see you after 5 minutes.
Pasabene, are you speaking something? I think you're
Yes,
muted.
yes, actually I was speaking, but I was mute. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so guys, how was it? How was the lesson?
Well, I'm quite devastated, to be honest. It's I don't know. It's hard to. It's been a long day otherwise as well. But for me, I'm struggling a bit now to kind of get the how can you say, like, to follow the main point here. I think we're jumping back and forth and going through a lot of different things, but I'm a bit losing kind of the main core that we're learning here.
Okay.
And at least I think it would be really helpful to do some exercise also as a homework, and then go through in the lesson in the beginning or whatever to kind of let's recap that exercise that we have done, and then do that ourselves and then discuss about it. For instance, I tried to do this. I think we discussed in the last lesson about the Michelle and Melanie's speech, and I did some small homework related to that, and even I think that would be even quite interesting to go deeper in that how do you actually compare.
Yeah.
So So at least that's my feeling currently. But of course, today my main problem has been that the Visual Studio Code is not working properly for this NumPy and Panda, and I've been jumping back and forth with to Jupyter and Visual Studio Code. So it's a bit speed, the speed is quite fast to jump between these different programs and then try to follow and learn even simultaneously. So that's my feelings.
Oh yeah, I can understand. But today the point was just to be familiarized with different packages, to be honest. So we didn't do much. What we did exceptionally, we learned how to handle files, the different files, specifically text files, creating text files, reading, and appending. But the rest was just, we've been using different packages to be exposed, actually. Even we are not learning, for instance, we've been using NumPy, right? I'm not teaching you NumPy, just NumPy by itself is like a 2 days lesson. It's really, and pandas by itself is important. Pandas as PD, pandas is also visualization, also something we should learn. But now I'm just showing you this visualization to support my teaching with some visualization, how the NumPy, the importance of, to show the importance of NumPy. For instance, to change this to multiply each item in a list, this needs a loop, but in NumPy, we just multiply something. So the main purpose of this lesson, or what we have covered so far, is just different packages, exposing you how to install packages using the pip install method. So pip install, and the package name could be NumPy, or it could be pandas, or any kind. So that is the importance. Let me take away from here. So as you mentioned that there is this assignment. If I add more, it will be too much. We can push forward the regular expression to next week, and also the class and objects. But for next week, I need everybody to have Jupyter Notebook, Anaconda on your system, okay? Because we will go through NumPys and pandas all over again. After this, we will not have much to learn. So it's just working on some data. Yeah, that's very good suggestion. And Arrow has done some his task already. So let's read the file actually. Michelle Obama and Melina. We can get the data from 30 days of Python. I think I had it already there. So data's. Now, since we know how to, how to read a file, so I save it as in this one. What was Melina? So let's put it here. Melina what? So it's good sometimes to give a proper, just meaningful name. So it's her speech. And what was the other? Michelle Obama's speech. Let's go to Michelle Obama, Michelle's speech. How many files do we have now, or how many speeches or speech transcripts do we have now?
2.
2. Now let's work on that. Exercise .py. So do we need to import anything for the time being? No. With open, I can need, what's the name of the file?
Michelle.
Let's go for Melina first. Speech. Since it's reading, I don't need a mod as F, and then print F. I think I forgot the F.
And the extension name, right?
Hmm?
The extension name, the file.
What?
The file extension name.
Yes, it's forgotten. Yes, here. It needs extension here. So if you print this, you don't get anything. What you get is just an object this. So I think the best way, last time we saw that read and
These lines.
read lines. What was read?
Split lines, or yeah.
Yeah, split into lines. Now you may see this kind of I'm expecting, yeah, great. Have you seen different lines? Yeah. So if you want to count the lines, so I think actually you better store it now. Lines, yeah. So let's print lines. Dot, even we can count. What is the type of this, guys? Later I want to type of
List, yeah.
yes, list. So you guys already good at. So now you know it. So I don't have to show you what it is actually then. But let's see the links. Sometimes, you know, it tells something. What's happening here? As you can see, we have 33 lines. It's quite a lot. Yeah. But let's also print these lines. But instead of printing, let's go for line in lines and print the line. Is it clear so far, guys?
Yeah, yeah. From the lines, we are iterating each lines one at a time.
Yes. Arrow, what do you think? Is it clear so far, this step? We read it and store it as in F. And
yeah.
then
I have a question.
yes.
Well, why are we splitting the lines or using the split lines? What was the reason for it?
Because it would be easy to get them as in a array of lines.
So yeah, so split lines makes each word as a or each line or
as a sentence or a
okay, yes.
yeah, so now they are saying, let me show you. I think it's looking at them is very easy. I can show you again, but what you do is just print and let's see what we have here. So have you seen here? So this one is long. I don't know where it ends. Wow, it ends here. It was actually, it's a kind of it is not actually a sentence. It's breaking it into a line. So if we break it like this, it doesn't make a difference that much, but still it's okay. We can, it's easy to loop through. So 4 lines based on this, yeah, let's see Michelle Obama. So in the first line, what does she have? So actually, the first line is, it comes up to here based on that, and based on this. What's Trump? Yeah, it cut it up to, so the breaking actually, break it here, so here. So we don't have that extra break space. Then now, let me go further. Where am I? Okay, line for line in lines, print line. Yeah, but I can print each of the line, but what's the importance again? As you can see now, we are printing every line, but instead of printing every line now, let's again split the line into words. Now you may see, yeah, have you seen now? Yes, something like this. We have different lists. Okay, so now we can create maybe words list, something like this. So we can again loop through here, X, for word in line dot split, and we can append words dot append
Words.
a word. Now here instead I want to just print words. Have you seen this is what I got? So this list of a word is here. Yep. But now let's do some also. It's a kind of a clean. We don't have other.
I have a question.
Yes.
What happens if you now just in that code, if you just erase the split lines thing and then run it, what happens? The split lines there.
Okay, in that case, yeah, in that case,
if you take that away,
you should do split just here.
Yeah, that's gonna be one option. Yeah.
Yeah, then word is, and then you don't need all this, and you don't need all this, and then just let's see, print words. This is what you can do. What?
Okay.
Have you seen? So it seems shorter, right? Yeah. But the reason why we didn't shorter, sometimes we may need to go step by step to catch, to remove certain things. Now we just chop the big. It's like trying to destroy the whole forest at once instead of cutting each tree at a time. So that approach, of course, we may need this way or the other. It depends on the condition. Even for now, this seems okay. Because as you can see, I have all the words, but even I prefer one step first to lower and then split. Now everything is lower. Then I may interested to create, I may want to loop through for word in words, print a word, right? Of course, I can also change it here to other word. Now, have you seen now, let's create a word table. Word table, and maybe it's a kind of word table or frequency table, I think. Freak table. Freak table. And then I call it this. So this freak table goes like this. If word in freak table, if it is there, what we do is actually, hey, freak table, I want you Yeah, so what we can do, we count, yes, actually +1. Else, I think, else we can just do I don't know why is my, then it's the first time. Now actually we are counting them. Print freak table. Let me show you what this freak table may have now. And we have to stop really printing. We're printing somewhere. Did we? No. So it's the, and you know, guys, I love this p print. We don't have p print from p print import p print as pp if you want, and you can just call it pp. Yeah. If you are so lazy to write. Have you seen now it's a kind of word frequency and distribution? Have you seen it? And this doesn't seems a word. So we have to remove this. It hasn't, it shouldn't be there. And we may remove also some of the characters that doesn't represent any word. This is the cleaning process, guys. Have you heard of data cleaning and processing? So you have to get closer and study to reach to a final conclusion or decision. And also, if you have seen this kind, have you seen this ever? And this should have been counted as 1. Have you seen ever? But because of this, it's not. So we should have removed all the punctuation first. Okay, then we have to do that, cleaning the punctuation and everything, because it has to be. Are you following, guys? And if you see also here, there are numbers. We don't need numbers. Who is following so far?
Yes,
Yep.
I'm following, and I tried to do this, and I tried to find a way that how can I, you know, search all those, that I'm not just guessing that, okay, I have commas, I have dots, question marks, and so on. Is there any way to kind of filter
Yes.
from this data all the possibilities?
Yes. Okay.
It's like, can you do it with the for loop by making a new list, or?
Yes, different
conditions.
Yeah, the method is different way. One is a regular expression, which we plan to learn today. Another is a replace. Yeah. So let me show you step by step. Maybe I will show you here text. I love whatever, and Python. I love. Okay. Maybe just Java script 2. Now, if I ask you to count the number of words here, how many words do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? But if you just do print text, what's text.split, this gives you something wrong. Let's stop this for a while. Have you seen this is what you get, right? And if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but it's 7, yeah, but it doesn't look a word. And even like if it was, for instance, how about even having here something like that, and even something like this. Even can you even read this? I think on day one actually there's already an, so day one or day two, I don't know. I will just take the example from there. It's so easy. Where is the regular expressions? And here, I think if you go all the way down, yeah, this one, this sentence. And I want you to read this sentence for me. What does it say? In the meantime, let me just destroy it. Who read it? Who read it already? Is it easy to read?
Not the easiest.
Yeah, it's not, but since I know I am a teacher and I love teaching, there is nothing as more rewarding as educating and empowering people. I found teaching more interesting than any other jobs. That this motivates you to be a teacher. That's what it says. So now, yeah, actually, as you can see, it was here, I took it. Then it's the role is now actually first to clean. So if you have a plan to just clean this and this, yeah, there's the so-called this regular expression, import regular expression. Yeah. So how does this regular expression, actually it has this substitute, regular expression dot substitute. Yeah, but what do we substitute? At the first place, how do we find? So we have to write a pattern. The way we write a pattern, we have this. All the time we write the pattern. Let me just, you can call it pattern. And we should write it row and the kind of string. Are we looking for love? For instance, you can search for a love actually. Find all, and then if you just pattern, from where? From the sentence. But the sentence has to be at the top, guys. Here. By the way, what do you expect from this? We are looking for input.
It will return
matches. We are looking for love, but there is no love. Let me just make love here. One love here. So I made it at least that one. And print matches. Or has not to be defined. It has. I told. Oh, find all is as in one word. As you can see, I found one lab. How about if I have another more lab somewhere? Yeah, so I will find that. Have you seen it? But this is not clean yet. We have to remove them. How about if we look for at? Do we have at in, guys? The at symbol. Do we have? How many times?
Yeah.
How many times? We don't know. Oh yeah. Have you seen? We have found all of them. Oh yeah. Great. Okay, then actually there's another way. Now we targeted at. Are we going to write for at, for percent, for hash, for everything like this? No, there is a smart way. We can use a square. Using a square, we can look for instance, Python, or let me show you. Python, or where is this? Okay, JavaScript. Okay. This means like I'm looking for a Python or JavaScript. Do we have JavaScript anywhere? Let me add here, because JavaScript. And I found it. Yeah, but not like that. This operator can be used. Now I can find it. As you can, JavaScript was found. Have you seen it? Yeah, it's great. If or banana or an apple. So this irregular expression is really powerful. But for that case, actually, I'm showing. If I say A, now I'm looking for A. B, I'm looking A or B. Let's see. Have you seen all A and B's? Okay. Who is following? This means if you put inside the square A or B. How about if I write A to Z? Oh, it doesn't matter. Anything A to Z. Oh yeah, all the letters. Okay. Then maybe how many times? One or more times. Have you seen? Oh yeah. So there was somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, It's a kind of targeting only the text. Okay, then now maybe how about if we go for percent at and then what is this? What character do we have? Other? I think it's just percent and either hash. That is percent at, yeah.
$sign.
$sign, then $sign might. Okay, great. Have you seen how it was selected? Yeah, so now this is good, but in this case, we have to use a substitute, okay? So now it's not, we don't want to, so there is substitute. R dot substitute. What do we substitute? This pattern. And what do we want to substitute? Nothing. From where? From the sentence. So this should be, again, down. Cleaned text. Let's hope if it's cleaned. But it's a process, guys. You don't get everything cleaned at once. Print clean text. It seems like kind of I'm a teacher, as you can see. And because we have and, but let's get this also down. There was this and sign. Why? Pattern. Why? Oh, what did I make? I don't know what's happening here. Pattern.
Previous statement, there's also.
We have at the top. We don't need that. We've been testing. Now let's just focus on this. No, yeah, we're just getting there, guys. But we forgot this, the hash. We have also a hash here. So let's do this. I'm a teacher and I love teaching. There is nothing as more rewarding as educating and empowering whatsoever. But now, even we want to remove the comma and what is the semicolon, and the dot. The reason why dot by itself has some meaning in here, so I have to use this exception and dot. Okay, then we have exclamation mark and question mark, and question mark, does it have? Oh yes, now it seems clean, right? But this is conjugated. How? Let's see. Because even at the first place, it shouldn't be like that. It should have been something like this. We can't. Now, as you can see, this is the time you should split now words, and if you do the clean the text to split and print words, even now words, and print lengths words. Yeah, as you can see, I am a teacher and I love teaching. There is nothing as more rewarding as educate. It's clean text. Yeah.
Yep. I have a.
Sorry. What if
You can
there
go.
are some numbers in the sentence and I want to clean those numbers?
Yes. Now let's see. Yes, that's a very good question. For instance, if you have here, I have been teaching since 2000. Yeah, maybe at least 60. And I enjoy the teaching to now in 2021. Now we have numbers, right? Yeah. It depends on you. Do you need the number? But most of the time, for instance, I study natural language processing. Natural language processing is actually, you have to take care of everything. Now, we manage to clean and remove, we focus on the word, the important word. Even at some point, for instance, we are not interested in I, even I, but what some words have high weight than other. We remove all the auxiliary verbs. We call them, I think, stop words in natural language processing. So they are just there to make a sentence or to make a linking between words. So it depends. Now, as you can see, these numbers are processed, but we can remove them. So to remove, actually, numbers 0 to, you can put it like this, 0 to 9, and then it will be removed. Let's see. Do you see number now? No.
Yep. I have a question.
I think there is a number on, but it's coming from somewhere else. Yeah. So this, yeah. No, let's go for the question.
Yeah. So you have the. Can you show the code a little bit further? So here, yes, up there. So on the row 20. Now you mentioned that you can use there the thing from A to C.
Yes.
Then it means all of the vocabularies, I guess.
Yes.
Can you make it? Can you use the opposite, like is not?
Yes.
A to C.
Yes. Okay. Now let's destroy. This seems really long.
Follow-up question.
Wait.
Okay.
Let's answer that. Okay. Good. A to Z means, and 0 to 9 means, now we are only interested in alphanumeric. So alphanumeric means the alphabets and the numerics. Let's see. But now, as you can see, we substitute this with just, so it's not there anymore. What did we do now actually? A to Z, all the
you remove all the A to Z's, but there is a plus sign, so it adds.
Yeah, yes, okay. The reason why we have some, because we have to also mention to A to Z in capital, okay? A to Z in capital.